Hello, this is Jamie Magrich. Welcome to Jamie's Craft Table. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card. I'm going to do it a little bit differently because this piece here was a scrap that I had from a leftover paper pumpkin card base. And not everybody will have that. And I only have one other little piece of it. So I'm going to do it an alternative with the soft suede. You could use crumb cake if you'd rather, but I kind of like the richness of this. The crumb cake was a little too light. Okay, so let's get started. And this card I used Melon Mambo. I got a little bit of glue on there, but on the card I'm going to do, I'm going to use Lovely Lipstick. Reason for that is it's retiring, and I kind of want to use some of my retiring products before I can't use them. Okay, for consumables, I have a piece of gold foil. I have a scrap of Whisper White. This is a die heavy card. There's very little stamping. You're just going to stamp the sentiment. There is a 2 3/4 by 5.5 inch piece of whichever color you choose for your, whether it be the crumb cake or the soft suede, whichever one you choose. And I've run it through that new embossing folder. I've forgotten what the name of it is. It comes ornate floral 3D embossing folder. It comes with that new Ornate Gardens suite. It's going to be available in the new catalog. It's available now, but it's so I'm going to choose this one. And then I have a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch piece of whatever pink you're choosing. I'm going to use Lovely Lipstick this time. And my card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Okay, so let's put the card base aside. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this piece. Oh, let me show you the dies I'm using. I apologize. So I'm going to be using this bundle here. I'm mostly just using the dies. Timeless Tropical. This is in the mini catalog that's January through June. So right now this bundle is 10% off. It is carrying over into the new catalog, however the bundle price is not. Okay, so I have the Timeless Tropical. I'm just going to use the Hello from the stamp set. I'm using a lot of the dies. I've already cut them out, most of them, just for the sake of time. I'm using both pieces of the pineapple. I'm going to cut those out with the gold. I'm using all of these 3 of the little leaves, and then these flowers. Okay. Then from the Stitched Be Mine framelits, I'm using this die here to make the scalloped edge down this edge. So I'm going to put that on there right now so I don't misplace it again. And now, the other die I'm going to be using is this one from Lily Pad Dies. It was part of the Celebration Coordination products. I'm going to be using this one. If you did not get that, you could use this die here from the Stitch Be Mine. Just cut it out twice, and I'll show you that when we get to it. Or you can use any other lacy type die that you happen to have. I already showed you the embossing folder, and that's all the elements. Okay, so out of this one, I'm going to put this, it's a scallop. It's about an 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch from the edge. And I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine. Along with that, I'm going to run the all the pieces from the, let me just get it out again. All these pieces from the pineapple on the gold foil. I've got these 2 pieces and these 3 pieces. And then this I'm going to cut out on the scrap white along with this die. Okay? So I'll be right back. I just have to cut this scalloped edge because I wanted to show you this piece whole. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'll carefully peel this off. Hopefully it doesn't tear the paper. It's been used before, so it shouldn't. Okay, now this piece you can save for another project. That's the actual scallop piece that you're cutting out. I just wanted this reverse scallop on this side. Put something behind it so you can see it. Okay? Let me put this down here so I don't lose it. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card. We're going to leave a little bit of a border on this side and a little bit of border on this side and adhere it right to the front of the card. You want the die cut edge that you just cut on the left hand side. If you want to do it the other way, that's fine too. Just showing you options. Down a little bit. In screen, I hope. There we go. Okay, now this piece again, it's 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and I've run it through that embossing folder. This is like dotted Swiss. If you have a dotted Swiss folder, that would work. I do have one, but it's retired, so. Or it's not Stampin'Up, the one I have, but Stampin'Up one's retired. Okay, and we're going to get this ready to glue. We don't want to glue it down hard yet because we do want to put the lace on the right edge. So we're going to go ahead and glue this down with a little bit of a border here so you see that pink edge. Alright, now we're going to take this piece and we're going to tack this down here. Let me show you these other ones too, see if you can use these as well. See, that would be pretty also. But I just like the simplicity of this one, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down the center of it. And I'm going to tuck it underneath this right edge. Leave about 1/4 inch from the top. And all these round ones on this side are going to be underneath. I just want these little pointy scallops, or yeah, pointy ones on this side to stick out. And then you can go ahead and push that down. Okay, then I'm going to bring in all my little bits that I cut out of the gold. There's the bottom of the pineapple. There's the top of the pineapple. We can go ahead and glue these down. Now, this has little leaves that cut out of it. See? So I'm going to put little dimensionals behind those leaves so that they have a little bit of dimension on the card. It's not going to add a lot of dimension, but it's going to let them stick up just a tiny bit. And I need a smaller piece for right there, so let's just cut a little bit from the edge. Right there. I need another one for that other little leaf. Okay, take those dimensional backs off. Okay. Come on. Now I'm going to put glue on the rest of this. You don't want a lot because you don't want the glue to seep out. If it gets on the foil, it's not pretty. It's just little tiny bits of it. You could use the sponging technique if you want. Now this is going to be about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. So go ahead and place that where you're going to put it. Put this down. Gonna have to hold those edges down because the center's popped up, remember? You don't have to hold it for very long, just a few seconds. But okay, then we're going to add some glue to the back of this. These cut out fairly easy. You do have to use that little dye brush to brush everything out of it, but they come out fairly nicely. It's not a huge amount of picking you need to do. Okay, we'll go ahead and glue this one flat on. This is upside down. Okay, now I'm going to bring in these leaves, and I'm going to change this one up a little bit. I'm going to add some of these leaves here. And then instead of gold flowers, I'm going to use white flowers. So I'm going to put 2 flowers there. One little one over here. And then I've got the little gold centers that came out of some other ones that I punched out. I'm going to go ahead and use those. If I can get them. There's white ones in here too, so I gotta kind of figure out which are which. The white one. The white one. There's one. I know there's some in there because there it is. One up here. Okay, so let me glue those elements on, and I'm just going to use the Tombow. A little bit on the back. If this is later and this lovely lipstick isn't available anymore, use whatever pink that you want to use. The Melon Mambo works really well. That's what this one is. Like I said, this is a retiring color, and I kind of want to use what I have. A little flower there. A little flower over here. Use this. I must have glue on my finger because it's sticking to me. Put it right there. Now one more up here. Alright. Well, there's the card we just made together. Oh, I forgot one step. I need the sentiment. So we're going to need some ink. Let me just use my Memento. Doesn't really need a sentiment, does it? I'm going to go ahead and stamp this hello right down here on the bottom and hope I don't mess it up. Pretty good. Alright, there's one I just made together. Again, this one's using Lovely Lipstick. Here's the one I did previously, and I used the shinier foil that I had in my stash and the Melon Mambo. Well, thank you for joining me at Jamie's Craft Table. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you can find a little bit of time to play with some stamps, ink, and paper.